This is a brief safety announcement. This show is a comedy broadcast. If the concept of humor or sarcasm confuses or frightens you, the exits are located at the top right of your browser window. Please use them now. For those staying, please ensure your expectations are appropriately lowered. Thank you.
You're listening to Backfire FM, and this is 9 to 5 Panic Attack with your host, Arthur Pendleton-Finch.
Do sit down and stop fidgeting. Let us not mince words. Your weekend is officially dead and buried. It expired the exact moment consciousness rudely forced its way back into your skull this morning. I am Arthur Pendleton-Finch, and this is indeed the very first 9 to 5 Panic Attack. Consider, if you possess the emotional fortitude, the sheer, staggering absurdity of your existence. Millions of years of biological evolution, the stardust, the primordial soup, the relentless survival of your ancestors, all culminating in this. You dragged your weary, carbon-based chassis out of bed, put on clothes you don't particularly like, and now you are participating in the grand collective delusion we call a productive week. Why? Because a piece of paper with a number on it dictates your right to occupy space on this spinning rock. Whether you are staring at a corporate spreadsheet, standing on an overcrowded train platform, or simply questioning your life choices while boiling a kettle, the reality is identical. You are back in the meat grinder. The illusion of your free will has reset to zero. We are born. We sell the best daylight hours of our lives to a stranger for 40 years, only to expire at the exact moment where we come to enjoy the harvest of our belated arthritic leisure. It is a staggering cosmic jest. And yet, here you are, eagerly offering up today's installment. Lower your expectations, my friends, then lower them again. Let us drown the silence with some noise. This is Soda Pop by Rose Garden.
Hey, 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 hey. Don't want you, need you, yeah, I need you to fill me up. 마시고 마셔봐도 싸게 잡지 않아. Got a feeling that, oh yeah, we could be everything that I need. This so sweet, every sip makes me want more, yeah. Would you like snacks, cause you got it like that. Take a big bird, want another bird, yeah. No one wants to go now, want it. No matter what, do bunny. When you're in my arms, I hold you so tight, so tight. Can't let go, no, not tonight. 지금 던져놔, but 시간 없잖아. 넌 나 거야, 이미 알고 있잖아. Cause I need you to need me, empty and feed me. So refreshing, my little soda pop. You're all I can think of, every drop I drink of. You're my soda pop, my little soda pop. Cool me down, you're so hot. Pull me up, I won't stop. You're my soda pop, my little soda pop. My little soda pop. Make me wanna flip the top. I'ma go make you hit the spot. Every little drip and drop, fizz and pop. So I'm door that it's getting hot. It's sipping when it's tripping. Now it's done. I need to stick around and pour a lot and don't you stop. My soda pop fizzles out. Cool. 속에 기려해 있던 넌 절대 놓칠 수 없어. 널 원해고 I'm waiting so long for. Taste the soda, so the wait is over, baby. Come fill me up, just can't get enough. You're all I can think of, every drop I drink of. You're my soda pop, my little soda pop. Cool me down, you're so hot. Pull me up, I won't stop. You're my soda pop, my little soda pop. You're my soda pop, gotta drink every drop.
Every Monday morning, millions of adults experience the same urge, to claw their own eyes out rather than look at a screen. Now, there is relief. Introducing the Monday Morning Blindfold. Made from 100% light-blocking neoprene, it forces you into total, unassailable darkness. Because let's face it, looking at nothing is a promotion. The Monday Morning Blindfold is available exclusively in petrol station car parks or via the dark web for the incredibly reasonable price of £412.99. Cash only, no refunds.
Well, that's reasonable, I assume, don't you? Turning now to a piece of domestic news. In the Dorset village of Little Piddling-on-the-Marsh, the annual Monday Morning Commiseration Festival has concluded in its traditional manner, utter catastrophe. For the uninitiated, this 400-year-old local custom requires the village's men to gather at dawn, plunge their left legs into a vat of cold porridge, and sprint up a steep hill, while the local parish council pelts them with damp hardcover copies of the Encyclopaedia Britannica to simulate the sheer, crushing weight of human existence. This year's winner was a Mr. Arthur Higgins, a local haberdasher who managed to lose both his trousers and his remaining dignity to a low-hanging bramble before crossing the finish line. When asked by our correspondent if the victory made him feel a sense of profound spiritual fulfillment, Mr. Higgins simply wept, swallowed a wasp, and fainted into a ditch. A magnificent display of British resilience, truly. The parish council has already confirmed that next year they will be throwing the heavy, leather-bound atlas volumes for maximum impact. One can only admire the dedication to entirely meaningless suffering. Speaking of meaningless suffering, here is our second track. It is called Enjoy and performed by Baba Bells.
Now waiting me, I come this life to do. Now enjoy, yeah, 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 yeah. Now enjoy. Make I just be flex Monday to Sunday. Now enjoy. I know one day face any problem. Now enjoy. Make any problem self, no face me. Now enjoy. Ibadun, lo jojumo. Now enjoy. Flexing everywhere I go. Now enjoy. Enjoyment business, me see, oh, I enjoy. No darling moment, anywhere I did, I enjoy. I no get time for yama, I enjoy. Plenty money for my bank account, I enjoy. Enter Yankee, enter Switzerland to enjoy. Oh, Ibita Baja, yeah. Now waiting me, I come this life to do. I enjoy, yeah, I enjoy. Make I just dey flex Monday to Sunday. I enjoy. I know one day face any problem. I enjoy. Make any problem self, no face me. I enjoy. Ibadun, lo jojumo. I enjoy. Flexing everywhere I go. I enjoy. Enjoyment business, let me see, oh, I enjoy. No darling moment, anywhere I did, I enjoy. I no get time for yama, I enjoy. Plenty money for my bank account, I enjoy. I enjoy. Yeah, I enjoy. I enjoy. Enjoyment.
Absolute unmitigated savagery. I went to
prepare my morning Earl Grey. It's a simple task, a civilized ritual. What do? I open the cupboard, and what do I find? Yes, what, Geoffrey? Some gelatinous mouth-breathing Philistine from the technical department has not only used my personal hand-painted porcelain mug, it's from the Georgian era, might I mention that. They have left the sodden, lukewarm tea bag resting inside of it, Geoffrey.
Now, hold on a minute.
No, you shut your gob and you listen while I finish, Geoffrey. It was sitting there, bleeding its cheap, dust-filled tannins into the porcelain like a dead rodent in a swimming pool. Who does this, I ask you, Geoffrey? What kind of deeply defective evolutionary bypass breeds a human being capable of leaving a wet tea bag to curdle in another man's heirloom? It is an act of psychological terrorism.
Please,
the collapse of Western civilization captured in a ceramic cylinder.
Now, hold
By
on.
God's gracious, Geoffrey, I don't care about your budgets or broadcast regulations. Once I find the creature who's responsible for this desecration, I will personally tie them to the back of my vintage Land Rover and drag them over the effing cobblestones until they can recite the proper milk-to-water ratio from memory. Invertebrate pond skimmers, that's what they are, the lot of them, the lot of you. A collection of slack-jawed, genetically compromised gibbons, swines playing at being humans, that's what you are. Ah, I see. The red light is still illuminated. Well, jolly good. As it seems, dear listeners, you just became witness to this tiny outburst of mine. Let me apologize in the most sincere form. Anyway, let us quickly go to our next song, which goes by the delightful title of Say It To My Face by Lionel Casio featuring Dylan Emmett.
Wish I could get through to you, don't know what to do to you. Anything I say will come off as wrong and you're not alone. Something feels out of place, but you have no tell. It's like we want the same things, but the lines we've drawn are too parallel. I can't sleep when you're not talking to me. Got me suffering in silence, can't breathe when you're not here. I know that you feel some type of way, girl. You don't say it to my face, oh. Just say it to my face. Say it to my face. I know that you feel some type of way, girl. You don't say it to my face, no. Just say it to my face. Say it to my face. To my, who's making the rules I abuse? I'm confused enough. Why don't you think we could talk? Am I not the one who always comes through? Got me in a dark place if you couldn't tell. I know we want the same things, but the lines we've drawn are heaven and hell. I can't sleep when you're not talking to me. Got me suffering in silence, can't breathe when you're not here. I know that you feel some type of way, girl.
And now, the weather. Looking at the synoptic chart, a massive and highly aggressive front of damp misery is currently moving in from the North Sea, specifically targeting anyone who has recently washed their car or shown a brief fleeting glimmer of optimism. In Yorkshire, a completely unprecedented meteorological phenomenon has been reported. A localised tornado consisting entirely of lukewarm Bisto gravy is currently moving south at 4 miles per hour, causing light staining to several cardigans. Do stay indoors if you value your knitwear. Further north, the weather in Scotland has been cancelled entirely due to a lack of commercial interest, and has been replaced by a static grey void that smells faintly of boiled cabbage. For those of you in the southeast, a patch of bright, blinding existential dread will break through the clouds at approximately 3 p.m. Do not look directly at it, simply pull your coats tight and wait for the scattered showers of unearned guilt to wash it away. As for the barometric pressure, it is currently dropping faster than my respect for the technical department. Speaking of the weather, holiday season is upon us, and I've recently had a rather unsettling revelation. You see, my housekeeper, Mrs. Higgins, a delightful woman, cleans the silver with the vigour of a woman half her weight, asked for 2 weeks off. Now, I assumed she was going to a sanitarium in Switzerland to treat her lungs, as she's a terrible chain smoker. But no, she informed me she was going to Benidorm. I actually had to look that up on a map. Apparently, it's a penal colony established by the Spanish authorities to contain the British working classes between the months of June and August. Now, I consider myself a philanthropist. I don't mind the lower orders having a bit of fun, but the sheer mechanics of how you people migrate to the Iberian Peninsula is utterly harrowing. You don't fly British Airways, do you? No, you use something called Ryanair. I looked into Ryanair. It's essentially a flying bus, but with fewer safety regulations and a distinct aroma of stale Lynx Africa and desperation. I am told that on these flights, the passengers actually applaud when the aircraft lands. My lord, imagine being so utterly convinced of your own impending mortality that the mere act of a pilot doing his bloody job elicits a standing ovation. Hooray! We didn't plummet into the Bay of Biscay in a ball of synthetic nylon fire. Let's crack open another lukewarm Stella. And then you arrive. Benidorm. It looks less like a holiday resort and more like a dystopian Soviet housing project that's been aggressively targeted by a neon paint bomb. The architecture is magnificent if your aesthetic preference is 1970s car park. And the cuisine. Oh God, I am told the local delicacy is something called the Mega Brunch. For €4, you receive 3 sausages of anonymous anatomical origin, a lake of baked beans, and a slice of fried bread that could double as a lethal weapon. Why do you go to Spain to eat exactly what you eat at home, only surrounded by more aggressive wasps? You are in the land of tapas, of fresh seafood, of Rioja, and yet there is Gary from Birmingham shirtless at 10 a.m, screaming at a Spanish waiter named Alejandro, "Oi, mate, where's the HP sauce? My chips are dry." It's colonization, but via the medium of cardiovascular disease. But the most terrifying element of the commoner on holiday is the biological mutation, the Benidorm tan. You people do not tan. You don't have the melanin for it. You possess the pasty, translucent skin of cave-dwelling amphibians. Yet the moment you hit the Costa Blanca, you strip down to garments that violate several decency laws. Cover yourselves in what I assume is cooking oil and bake. By day 3, you don't look sun-kissed. No, you look like an over-microwaved supermarket lasagna. Just a peeled, weeping, blistered sheet of humanity, shuffling towards the karaoke bar to sing Robbie Williams. It's a fascinating ecosystem. All-inclusive resorts where the objective appears to be drinking your own body weight in watered-down local gin until you lose the ability to speak the king's English, let alone Spanish. Oh, but I suppose I shouldn't judge. It keeps you all in one place now, doesn't it? Like a giant sunlit holding pen. And for that, the aristocracy thanks you. Enjoy your all-inclusive pina coladas, darlings. Just ensure you're back by September. The hedges won't trim themselves. Now, to get you into the mood for your Jet 2 holiday, here is the latest hit single, Benidorm Babes.
Book the package, pay the fee. £10 down and a bag for me. Sun cream smudged on my t-shirt sleeve. Mum said pack your hopes and leave. Coach rolled up in the morning rain. Same old jokes, same old train. But I found gold in the aisle seat stash. 2 tiny bottles and a plastic hash. Oh, here we go, past the toll road glow. My sandals tapping, my grin said so. Benidorm babes, here we are, shouting ole. From the coach to the bar. Benidorm babes, what a scene. 2 for 1 and a sunburned dream. Benidorm babes, hand in hand, sing it loud in the lucky band. Benidorm babes, don't be shy. We came for the chips and the summer sky. Dad wore socks with his poolside slide, trying hard for a glam vacation vibe. Nan in shades with a paper hat said, this is it, I've needed that. Dinner was chips and a watery gin. Someone lost their room keeping, but the smiles were wide, the pints were cheap, and we danced till the tile floor creaked. Oh, here we go, let the good day show. If the sea looks blue, then the world feels slow. Benidorm babes, here we are, shouting ole. From the coach to the bar. Benidorm babes, what a scene. 2 for 1 and a sunburned dream. Benidorm babes, hand in hand, sing it loud in the lucky band. Benidorm babes, don't be shy. We came for the chips and the summer sky. One more photo by the cheap hotel sign. Ben straw, blue cup, brilliant time. If the weather folds, we'll still be fine. 'Cause every daft old day was mine. Benidorm babes, here we are, shouting ole. From the coach to the bar. Benidorm babes, what a scene. 2 for 1 and a sunburned dream. Benidorm babes, hand in hand, sing it loud in the lucky band. Benidorm babes, don't be shy. We came for the chips and the summer sky. Benidorm babes, kiss me quick and wave goodbye. Benidorm babes, we still got the sunshine by the mile.
As horse owners, we don't just own an animal, we own a legacy. A half-ton of majestic, fragile anxiety that breathes through its nose and eats our life savings. And your champion deserves only the finest. Introducing L'Effronté by Lord Harrington. It is the world's first artisanal, bespoke, ambient stable fragrance, made of a scientifically unproven blend of hand-harvested Himalayan rain vapour and the organic tears of disappointed polo referees. L'Effronté by Lord Harrington, now available at Harrods and select high-end tax shops for a fantastically affordable £240. Side effects may include a severe sense of financial regret and a slight smell of cucumber. Bottle is not recyclable.
Oh, I just love horses, don't you? I was up at the family estate in Wiltshire last weekend. Beautiful place. My ancestors built it by oppressing the locals, as is tradition. And I was sitting in the library sipping a single malt that is older than the concept of democracy, when my nephew, a boy whose skull is entirely hollow save for a vape pen and a TikTok algorithm, showed me a video. He said, "Uncle Arthur, look, it's the new British equestrian craze." Of course, I was very interested and expected polo, or the glorious thundering majesty of a half-ton beast leaping over a stone wall, powered by centuries of selective breeding and a diet of pure aristocratic arrogance. But what did I see instead? I saw a 19-year-old girl from Basingstoke galloping across a gymnasium floor with a wooden broomstick wedged firmly between her thighs. At the end of this stick was a stuffed plush horse head, a sock, a literal sock with button eyes and a yarn mane. And she wasn't laughing. That's the part that curdled my blood, ladies and gentlemen. She had the fierce, unblinking intensity of a Prussian general. Welcome to the modern United Kingdom, where we have successfully democratized the sport of kings into a collective nationwide mental health crisis called hobby horsing. It's a sport. They hold national championships. I watched a young man, and I use the term man in the loosest, most biologically generous sense of the word, attempt a triple bar jump. He approached the hurdle, his little knees pumping like a frantic, startled secretary. He leaped into the air, tugged his legs, landed gracefully, and then patted the wooden stick, as if to say, "Good boy, Barnaby, well jumped." "You didn't jump the fence, Barnaby. You jumped the fence. The stick did absolutely nothing but threaten your future fertility. You are the horse. You have outsourced the majesty of a stallion to your own rights, you absolute turnip. My family has bred thoroughbreds since the Restoration. We have a stallion named Lord Byron's Pride. He costs £10,000 a month just to feed. If he looks at a fence wrong, he gets a therapist. And yet these dynamic avant-garde budget riders are going down to the local haberdashery, buying 3 yards of felt, a bag of cotton stuffing, and declaring themselves eventers. Do you know what we used to call someone running around a field with a stick between their legs? A patient. We called the men in white coats and had them gently removed from the village green. Now we give them a sponsorship deal with Red Bull. Imagine the dressage event. If you haven't seen it, picture the most prestigious, elegant display of equine discipline, except replace the horse with a girl named Chloe who looks like she's trying to hold in a difficult sneeze while doing a sideways skip. She's prancing. She's doing a passaged trot. Her fingers are delicately gripping the reins, which are tied to a piece of vanished pine. Who are you pulling on, Chloe? There's no mouth. There's no brain. You are steering a shelf from IKEA. You think it's charmingly eccentric. It isn't. It is the final whimpering death rattle of the British Empire. We used to rule the waves. We used to conquer continents. Now our youth are gathering in community centres in Kettering to compete for a gold medal in imaginary pony riding. If the French invade us tomorrow, we are finished. What are we going to do? Deploy the first stuffed infantry? Charge down the cliffs of Dover on our trusty steeds from the Toy Kingdom? Hold the line, lads. Sebastian's horse has a loose staple in its ear. But, well, I'll leave you with this. To anyone who participates in this, I'm truly sorry, but this is a theatrical delusion. I admire your cardio. Truly, your quadriceps must be like iron. But please, for the love of God, if you're going to ride a stick in public, at least have the decency to do what my ancestors did when they lost their minds. Lock yourself in the east wing of your manor, drink laudanum, and talk to the portraits like a proper civilized lunatic. And so we reach the end of our brief auditory respite. Ahead of you lies the rest of this dreadful day, followed relentlessly by the rest of this dreadful week. My final advice to you today is simple yet vital. If anyone approaches you this afternoon and attempts to engage you in a conversation regarding the weather, Benidorm, or hobby horsing for that matter, do not participate. Instead, immediately drop to all fours, balance a singular biscuit on your forehead and begin barking like a minor member of the clergy until they leave the room. It is the only dignified response still left to us. Until tomorrow, do try to avoid the local parish council, watch out for flying marrows, and always remember, lower your expectations and then lower them again. This has been the 9 to 5 Panic Attack here on Backfire FM. I am Arthur Pendleton-Finch, your trusty host, and I bid you goodbye and good luck.